You ever notice how Money Ape can walk past a fruit tree full of perfectly good bananas, big, yellow, guaranteed bananas, and instead go sprinting through the jungle chasing some random rumor about a magical golden banana tree that probably doesn't even exist? Like someone in the jungle whispers, "Hey, I heard there's a tree 3 mountains over that grows golden bananas overnight. And one guy ate one and now he has a yacht." And Money Ape just drops everything. Drops the real bananas, drops the plan, drops the sensible lunch he packed, and goes running full speed, no shoes, uphill, and the worst part? This isn't the first time. This is the 47th time. Money Ape has a whole graveyard of golden banana schemes behind him. The dropshipping adventure of 2021, the NFT phase that shall not be named, the 3-week obsession with a stock tip from a guy named Crypto King 88, whose profile picture was a Lamborghini he definitely didn't own, the MLM thing. We don't talk about the MLM thing, and yet every single time a new golden banana rumor shows up, Money Ape is already lacing up his shoes before the sentence is even finished. Why? Why does a perfectly intelligent creature keep doing this? Is Money Ape stupid? Is Money Ape broken? Is Money Ape just fundamentally bad with money? No. And this is the part that should make you feel a lot better about yourself. Money Ape isn't broken. Money Ape's brain is working exactly as designed. The problem is that the design is ancient, and the jungle has changed a lot since then. Let's talk about what's actually happening up there in that beautiful, chaotic ape brain. And we're going to do this in parts, because this story deserves to be told properly. Deep inside Money Ape's brain, there is a tiny little factory. And this factory makes one product, one chemical. It's called dopamine. You've heard of it. Everybody talks about dopamine like it's the pleasure chemical, like it's the reward you feel when something good happens. But here's what most people get wrong, and this changes everything once you understand it. Dopamine is not the reward. Dopamine is the anticipation of the reward. Your brain releases dopamine not when you get the banana. It releases dopamine when you think you might get the banana. The moment of possibility, the rumor, the pitch, the imagine if this works moment. That's when the factory is going full blast. Scientists figured this out by watching real monkeys, not Money Ape and running experiments in the 1990s. A researcher named Wolfram Schultz would show a monkey a light, then give it juice. And what he found was wild. At first, the monkey's dopamine spiked when the juice arrived. But over time, as the monkey learned the pattern, the dopamine spike moved earlier and earlier until it was happening at the moment the light turned on. Not the juice. The light, the signal, the possibility. And then, and this is the good part, Schultz tried something. He showed the light but didn't give the juice. And the dopamine? It didn't just stay flat. It crashed. It went below the baseline. The monkey didn't just feel no reward. It felt worse than normal, like a little chemical punishment for the hope that didn't pay off. This is Money Ape's entire financial life in one experiment. The pitch arrives. The light turns on. The brain goes, oh, we might get juice. Dopamine floods the system. Money Ape feels incredible, alert, alive, excited. This is going to be the one. This is different from the last 46 times. And then either the scheme collapses, or it just quietly fades, and the dopamine crashes. And Money Ape feels hollow and a little embarrassed, and starts looking for the next light. So here's the cruel twist. Money Ape actually knows, somewhere in his logical brain, that boring, consistent investing works. He's read the articles. He's seen the charts. He knows that putting money into an index fund every month and just leaving it alone for 20 years is basically a proven formula for building wealth. He knows this, but knowing it and feeling it are two completely different things. The boring correct path gives Money Ape almost no dopamine, none. It's too slow. It's too certain. The brain doesn't get excited about certain things. It gets excited about uncertain things. This is actually one of the most well-documented quirks in behavioral economics, and it's called the uncertainty effect. Researchers have shown that people get more dopamine from a 50% chance of winning $10 than from a guaranteed $10. The math is the same, actually. The guaranteed option is better math, but the brain doesn't care about math. The brain cares about the electric thrill of maybe index funds say, put money in, wait 20 years, probably do well. No maybes. No drama. No lightning bolt moment of, I did it, I cracked it. Just slow, grinding, unsexy compound interest. Get Rich Quick says, this could change your life by Thursday. And the brain goes absolutely feral, This is not a character flaw. This is hardware. This is Money Ape running software that evolved over hundreds of thousands of years of survival, now trying to navigate a world that invented cryptocurrency 16 years ago. Let's go back, way back, before the stock market, before banks, before money, back when Money Ape's ancestors were actual apes, trying to survive in a world that was genuinely trying to kill them. In that world, quick rewards weren't greed, they were survival. If you found a tree full of ripe fruit, you didn't sit there and think, perhaps I should diversify across multiple fruit trees and wait to see which one performs best over the next fiscal quarter. You ate, right now, as much as possible. Because there was a very real chance a predator showed up in 10 minutes, or the weather changed, or another tribe found the tree first. Waiting was dangerous. Patience was a liability. The brain that chased immediate rewards survived. The brain that said, I'll come back tomorrow when I've done more research, sometimes didn't make it to tomorrow. So our brains learned to love the quick hit, to distrust slow payoffs, to feel physical urgency around opportunities. That wiring is still in there, in every single one of us, running in the background like an app you forgot to close. The problem is that modern wealth doesn't work that way at all. Modern wealth is almost entirely built on delayed gratification, on saying no to the exciting thing so you can say yes to the boring compounding thing, on trusting a process you can't see or feel for years at a time. Money. Ape's ancestral brain is playing a game that no longer exists, with rules that no longer apply, in a jungle that was replaced by a stock market. And nobody gave him the updated manual. Now let's talk about the people who figured all this out, not the scientists, but the salespeople. Because somebody, somewhere, a long time ago, realized that human beings will keep pulling a lever forever if the reward is random. The most addictive reward schedule ever discovered by behavioral science is called variable ratio reinforcement. It means sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, and you never know which pull will be the lucky one. Slot machines are built on this. And so it turns out is every get-rich-quick scheme ever designed. Money Ape opens his phone and sees an ad. Someone on a boat. Caption says, made $40,000 last month, here's the free training. Is it real? Maybe. Is this one of the ones that works? Could be. Will Money Ape make $40,000? Unknown. And that unknown is the entire product. They are selling Money Ape the maybe. They are selling the dopamine hit of possibility. And because Money Ape's brain is running the same software as a person pulling a slot machine handle, he clicks. Of course he clicks. The brain is not asking, is this statistically likely to succeed? The brain is asking, could this be the one? And the answer is always technically yes. So the dopamine always flows, so Money Ape always clicks. This is why the testimonials matter so much in these schemes. It's not about convincing you that success is common. It's about proving that success is possible. Because once it's possible, your dopamine system takes over, and statistics become completely irrelevant. Okay, so here's the part that should be most embarrassing, but is actually the most fascinating. Money Ape has lost money on schemes before, several times. He knows, from lived experience, that most of these things don't work. So why doesn't the memory of past losses stop him from doing it again? Because the brain doesn't store memories of losses and gains equally. There's a phenomenon called optimism bias, and it means that when we remember our past experiences, we unconsciously sand down the bad ones and polish the good ones. Money Ape doesn't remember the MLM thing as a catastrophic, embarrassing, friendship-damaging disaster. He remembers it as a learning experience that almost worked and would have worked if the timing had been different and if his upline hadn't been dishonest. And the new scheme? The new scheme is different. The new scheme has a slight twist that the MLM thing was missing. The new scheme is the one where all those past lessons pay off. The brain reframes every new opportunity through the lens of hope rather than history. There's also something called the sunk cost fallacy running in reverse here. Normally, sunk cost means you keep going because you already invested. But here it's more like every past failure becomes evidence that you're due for a win. Like losing streaks in casinos. Money Ape starts to feel like the universe owes him a golden banana after all those dry runs. It doesn't. But the feeling is very real. And the feeling is running the show. This is probably the most important part. Because by now you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Brain chemistry, ancient wiring, dopamine, sure, but I know better, so why do I still fall for it? And the answer is one of the most humbling discoveries in all of psychology. Knowing something with your rational mind and changing your behavior because of that knowledge are almost completely separate processes. They happen in different parts of the brain. And in the moment of temptation, the emotional brain is faster, louder, and has better funding than the rational brain. Daniel Kahneman called these System 1 and System 2 thinking. System 2 is the slow, logical, deliberate part of your brain that knows index funds are better. System 1 is the fast, emotional, automatic part that sees the boat and the testimonial and starts sprinting through the jungle. System 1 almost always wins in the moment, because by the time System 2 has finished reviewing the evidence and preparing its rebuttal, Money Ape has already clicked the link, entered the email address, and is watching the free webinar. The good news, and there is good news, is that you can set up conditions in advance that give System 2 a fighting chance. Not in the moment, because in the moment it's already too late, but before the moment. So what do you actually do about this? How does Money Ape rewire a brain that's been running the same code for 100,000 years? First thing, make the boring path exciting. The reason index funds feel dead is because Money Ape never checks them with anticipation. So change the ritual. Set up automatic investments, and then treat the annual review like an event, like a celebration. Give it a name, the banana audit. Look at the compound growth and consciously remind yourself that this is the golden banana, it's just ripening slowly. You have to manufacture the dopamine that the environment isn't providing naturally. Second thing, add friction to the exciting path. Money Ape clicks fast because there's no speed bump between excitement and action. So build one. A simple rule: any financial decision that feels exciting must wait 48 hours before any money moves. Just 48 hours. Let System 2 catch up. Let the dopamine settle. Let the boat and the testimonial fade slightly from your imagination so you can see the actual product underneath. Third thing, find your excitement somewhere else. A lot of get-rich-quick chasing is actually boredom management and meaning-seeking dressed up as financial strategy. Money Ape is bored, and the scheme makes life feel like an adventure. That's a legitimate need. Fill it somewhere cheaper. A competitive hobby, a side project that doesn't require investing money. Something that hits the dopamine system so the financial decisions can be made with a quieter brain. And fourth, this one is simple but underrated. Find 1 or 2 real people who have actually built wealth slowly and talk to them. Not influencers, not courses, actual humans. Because seeing someone in real life who made boring decisions and ended up genuinely free does something to your brain that statistics can't do. It makes the slow path feel real, possible, worth it. So here we are. Money Ape is standing at a fork in the jungle. On one path, a regular tree. Steady, healthy, reliable bananas, not flashy. Won't make a great story at the party, but they're there every single day. And over years, the tree just keeps growing and the bananas just keep coming. And 20 years from now, Money Ape is sitting under a very large tree with more bananas than he can eat, feeling genuinely, quietly free. On the other path, the rumor, the whisper. The 3 mountains over golden banana tree, the thrill, the possibility, the dopamine, the story you can't stop thinking about. And maybe it pays off. But probably, if history is any guide, Money Ape ends up tired and empty-handed on a mountain somewhere, having sprinted past all his real bananas for a tree that was never there. The brain will always light up for the second path. That's never going to change. The wiring is too old and too deep. But here's what Money Ape is slowly learning. Scheme by scheme, and maybe you are too. The feeling of maybe is not the same thing as the future you want. You can feel the dopamine of the pitch and still not move your feet. You can feel the excitement and say, yes, brain, I hear you. Very compelling. 48 hours. You can honor the ancient ape inside you without letting it make your financial decisions. The golden banana isn't 3 mountains over. It never was. It's the boring banana. Eaten consistently, invested wisely, left alone to compound for a long time. And that's the hardest and most important thing Money Ape will ever learn. The best things in the financial jungle look the least exciting at first. Now, which bananas are you going to choose?